We are live and recording in the studio. Yes, because I totally have a studio. In my lounge dreams. Thank you. So, currently, on current affairs, I'm back in black, actually. I know you. I am back in black. It is true. It has been spoken, I am indeed, yes. Technically red also fun story. Y'all are only gonna see the top half of me. Spoiler. Y'all are only seeing the top half of me because the bottom half of me is less on point. It's a situation of this dress is you know, it's a good dress, but I don't want to take off my comfy pants, so I still have them on. I still have on my comfy pants, and I'm gonna show you the video. Well, I'm gonna film it, okay? Sorry for talking in Barbie's voice, but I just like it a lot. Anyway, so, for those of you that don't know, my name's Bird. I use they, them pronouns. Little non-binary energy for you there. Welcome to Moonchild, the channel of chaos and good times. That should be my little catchphrase. The channel of chaos and good times. I love that. So hello to my 84 subscribers. I don't know if all of you watch my videos, but I hope some of you possibly do at least. That would be nice, considering, you know, you click the subscribe button, hence you want to see my videos. I don't know. Help a lad out. Basically, I'm here to tell you today about how to stay organized, okay? The keyword here, stay organized, because there's this problem that I have. I love being organized. It's a good time. It makes me feel like on top of things. It helps me remember things. I'm not like constantly losing my fucking mind because I can't remember where I put my wallet like 5 seconds ago. Vibes. But yeah, basically I've done a lot of research into it. I've been like on this shit since I was like 13, 14, trying to be organized and keep my life together. And so I would watch many videos on how to get organized, and articles and Pinterest thingies, and just so much things on how to be organized, how to be a boss, how to be a boss speech. I feel like that's been so 2012. Like, who says like how to be a boss? Oh, Lily Singh does. Oh wait, no, she says how to be a boss. It's boss, folks. But yeah, there's a lot of videos on people telling you, here's how to get organized, here's how to reset your life and blah blah blah. And I was like, cool, great, I love that. We love a video on that. And I'd watch them and I'd do all the tips and stuff. And then like 5 days later, everything would be chaos again. And I'd be like, excuse me, YouTube video, you giving me false information. This was supposed to help me get organized and be organized. And now my life is in chaos again. What the fuck, man? And so I realized the problem with these videos is that they would give you great advice on how to get organized, but staying organized was something that they didn't really cover, and something that I haven't really seen on the internet that much. There's heaps of stuff on how to like actually get organized, just the process of like taking your crazy life and making it not crazy and just getting it all together and stuff. There's not a lot of videos or just information in general on how to actually keep organized, how to stay organized, like maintain that over a long period of time. And I have learned from my mistakes many times in many ways all through the years, and I thought I would share some of that advice with you, and I'm going to try and make it as concise as possible because I do have a tendency to ramble. But I am trying to work on that. I've already made this intro like way too long. Yes, I can speak English, okay? Let me know. Just because my homunculus is a bit fried doesn't mean that I can't English. Although I'm just proving on point here. Without further ado, let us get into the video. So first thing that I have on my list here, because I have a list, because I'm organized, is to make things easy to keep tidy. make things easy to keep organized. There's nothing worse than having an organization system or like just trying to clean in general, and everything is just set up in a way that's so difficult to either keep tidy / clean or keep organized. And I found that I had this problem a lot like early on when I was trying to get organized, is I would get organized, but the organization systems that I would choose were just very difficult to maintain. And if something is difficult to maintain, you're not going to do it. I will make a video on like how to actually, like what's the best way to like organize, and depending on like what you're organizing, what area of the house you're in, all of that sort of thing. But basically, just if you can make something easier, do it, because it's so much easier to just keep on top of things when the process of keeping that way is easy and not something difficult and time consuming and just plain annoying. So yeah, make things easy. The next thing that I have is to make a mind map of your life. And I've tried this before, but I didn't really do it in that much detail. But I saw a video by this guy who runs a channel called Better Ideas, and he proposed the solution of making a mind map for literally everything in your life. Now, at first I found this a bit hard because I was just staring at a fucking blank page. Now actually, I've got the mind map, and I will get up and show you. So just intermission, elevator music here, I guess. Okay, intermission over, ladies. Sorry, swallow your popcorn fast. Yes, it's a big boy. He's a biggie. He's a little chubster. But basically, this is my whole mind map of my life. And like, it looks big, but everything on there, like, there's not as much as you'd think. So basically, I started with like key categories of my life that just popped in my mind immediately. So things like my career, job, blah, 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 all of that. Health, relationships, education. For me, education is something that I'm just doing in my own time. I'm not a university currently right now. The uni life wasn't for me. Props to all you guys who are out there studying, getting smarter, online or in person. It's tough. I've only ever done online university, and it didn't work out for me, unfortunately, and so I'm not currently in that stage of my life. There's also self-improvement. There's also one for Daisy, who is my cat. Unfortunately, she's not here right now. She's off saving the world or eating. I don't know, one of the two. There's also one for finances and hobbies, and so like those were my main ones. And then from like my main one, so I've got like 7 or 8 main things, and then from there I was able to break it down into smaller bite-sized things, and that made sort of getting a sense of like my life and just how it works in general a lot more easier to tackle, because it was there, like all laid in front of me, nothing was hidden, everything was visible. So just to give you an example of how I broke things down, for example, I had my house. Well, it's not mine, I'm renting it. Well, technically I'm actually boarding because I'm not on the lease. I moved in with my partner and his housemate, and I've been here for like almost 3 years now. For example, house, I have cleaning, obviously that's the major thing. Supplies, like what supplies do I need? Because half the time that I go to clean, because I'm not organized, I'll go to clean and half the supplies I need aren't there, and so I don't end up cleaning and the house gets messier. So supplies, then there's routines for the cleaning, how often I'm doing it. Then there's like stuff like decorating, like decor, then upgrades for the house, whether that's like a new flat screen. I already have one, which, fun story, has actually cocked itself for the second time. This will teach me not to buy a fucking $500 flat screen from Officeworks, but more on that later. So back to breaking down the house thing. Decor, upgrades, blah, 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 all of that. And then I've just done that for every single category of my life. And I like this whole thing of doing it on a mind map because everything's visible. Everything, you can see everything, and there's nothing that you're gonna like forget about or slip through the cracks. And then from this mind map, I've actually made a folder on my computer where I've put all these categories into little folders. And within those folders, I've made smaller subsections. So anytime I'm like oh no, something in my life is going wrong, I can go click on the relevant folder and get things sort of back in order. If you sort of have a place to start on a foundation of, you know, you go into a folder and everything's there for you to sort of get things back on track. But if everything's sort of just like skewed and scattered and you don't really have any idea of what you're doing, it's going to be that much harder to not only get organized, but to actually stay organized. So make a mind map of your life, and then technically a mini sub-step is to organize that into folders, whether that's a hard physical copy or that's on my computer or your computer, obviously. I usually prefer hard copies, but I have been trying to go more digital just because I end up with like 15 notebooks and it's just annoying. So computer, it's all in one place. Following on from that, plan as much as you can. Plan for the future. So if there's something that you want to do or something you know you need to do, whether it's an overwhelming thing or if it's a simple thing, plan for it as much as you can, whether that's writing down the routine of how you're going to do it, or what supplies you need, or the procedure for a certain thing that you might want to do. For example, like with my cleaning thing, I know that I have 4 sections of the house or 4 rooms of the house that I need to keep clean, and so I have a list of cleaning things that I have to do for each room. And not only do I have that broken into room, I also have that broken into frequency. I have a 3-day cleaning routine, a 2-week, a 1 week, a 1 month, and so I know every time 1 month rolls around, pull out my list, everything's all there for me to do. I don't have to use brain power to think about, oh, what am I going to do for my monthly cleaning? Oh gee, I have no idea, and then it just doesn't get done. If you sit down and you take the time to plan out for the future, when you know that you're going to have to do something and you need to be prepared for it, do that. You can literally apply this to anything in your life, whether it's applying for a uni course or going on a trip or, I don't know, anything really. I can't think of any more examples. I'll try and list some in the description to like give you some sense of what I'm talking about when I say this. And I know like, oh, cleaning, yes, obviously, but like I would plan, and then because I didn't have an efficient organizing system, the plans would like always get lost and I would never know where anything is, and then I just stopped and everything just went into chaos yet again. The 4th thing, following on from planning, is to think about the future. And I don't mean just like, oh, where are you going to be in 10 years? Like living in a $10 million mansion and a yacht, or living off the grid and fucking harvesting wild strawberries. Honestly, that would be a vibe. I would love that. But plan for the future. Like, for example, one thing that I have a tendency to do is I have Afterpay, right? And it's great. It's like, oh yes, I get to, make payments over a certain period of time and I don't have to pay it all at once. And then I'll make the Afterpay, and then I'm not prepared for when the next payment is. And then when the next payment is, it's like heads or tails if I have enough money in the account to clear it. Usually I do, but it's like I've had to cut corners on other things that I really shouldn't be cutting corners on. Also, another thing that I like to plan ahead for is when my registration for my car is due. I pay it on a 3-monthly schedule, and I'll pay it, and then 3 months in the future, I'm not thinking about it. So I like to set a reminder in my phone every couple of weeks before my registration is due. It'll be in my diary, or my reminder in my phone will pop up and go, hey, your registration is due in 2 weeks. Because what will happen is I will pay my registration, and then because I don't have to think about it for the next 3 months, I just don't do anything. And by the time my next registration comes around, I'm like, oh shit, I have to pay $181. Crap, I have to cut corners on everything. And so if you're prepared and you know, okay, my registration's coming, you can put aside money. Honestly, this works with anything. So if you know there's something in the future that you're most likely to forget, put things in place that are going to help you remember that, whether that's like a weekly check-in, or just reminders, or having it written out like on a board somewhere where you can see it, registration due in X amount of days or whatever. Think about the future as much as you can in whatever way that it applies to your life personally. I literally just mentioned it, but weekly check-ins, something that has really helped me to stay organized is to have weekly check-ins. Look at what happened during my week, see, hey, what was working for me this week, what wasn't working for me this week, did anything slip through the cracks, have I missed anything, like little reminders, little random errands I have to do, like I have to change the oil and coolant in my car. I'm also wanting to get a cover for my car because let me tell you, Ballarat winters are something fierce, and I will go out on a freezing cold 7 a.m. in the morning, and before I know it, my car's iced over, and I have to sit in the car for 15 minutes waiting for my car to defrost, which doesn't help if I'm supposed to be at work or there's something I need to do, and I'm just sitting in the car waiting around for it to defrost. So I need to put a cover on my car, and so I chuck all of these little reminders in just a little notebook, and then at the end of the week I can check through it and go, okay, I have these errands to do, can I assign them to a specific day, specific time, blah 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 blah. So have a weekly check-in where you just check in, see how everything's going, maintain it, update things that aren't working, adding new things that you think will work, and just go from there. Again, I'll probably make separate videos on how to do these things in depth because I don't really just want to fling tips at you and you go, okay, how do I do that? Please tell me, I have no clue, because I watch videos and they'll be like, do this thing, and I'll be like, okay, but how? So yes, I will be making separate videos on most of these tips, most likely. So the next thing is to optimize time management. And by optimizing time management, I mean taking advantage of time and working that in with your life. Obviously, that was a very basic explanation of time management. So for example, I have 4 days off work this week. I have 4 days off where I don't have to be anywhere, I don't have to be at work, I don't technically have to do anything. And so I go, okay, I have 4 days where I don't have to do anything. What can I do on these days that I wouldn't really be able to do on other days that I might be working? So for example, my days off are my gym days. My days off are my heavy cleaning days, usually. There are also the times when I might do like bulk errand running, like I've got a bunch of errands and I need to be out for like an hour or two, and I'll just bunch them all together in one day and get them all done. It's also my YouTube filming day. I'll only film on days that I'm not working. I don't have the time and the efficient tech to film / do any like really film related stuff on a day when I'm working, because most of my days filled with work. I come home, I'm tired, I just want to do simple easy things, not set up for a film or, all that sort of thing. So optimize time management. Figure out when it's going to be best for you to do certain things, whether that's like just in a single day or if that's over a week or a month. And then you'll be able to stay a lot more organized because you'll be on top of your time and you'll be knowing where your time's going and how you're spending it. The next thing is this is one that gets me all the time, constantly. So I will have this tendency where I'll have my things and I'll go, oh yeah, I remember if I put it here. Spoiler alert, they didn't. 5 minutes later, I'm like, oh, where are my keys? Oh, where's my pen? Disappeared off the fucking face of the planet. And I'm like, right, I have to spend half an hour looking for my wallet / keys because I have no idea where I've put them. And then I'll have put them in some really obscure place, like fucking under the beanbag in my back room / gaming room. So the thing that I started doing is I've designated places for everything that I technically use all the time. So like my wallet, my keys, my smokes, what else do I use in my life? I don't know what I use in my life. Just things that that you use on a regular basis. You want to have one place or a series of or a bunch of places where okay, it's either going to be in this one place or it could be in these places. So for example, generally there's about 3 or 4 places that my keys might be. It'll either be on that little gold leaf tray that I'm... Okay, apologies for that. My camera decided to just stop recording even though I had 10 minutes left. Also, somehow after a day of charging, my battery's already dead, close to dead, and I've only done 10 minutes, and it's like, this is getting ridiculous at this point. I think I might need to get a new battery. Anyway, continuing on with what I was saying. Almost lost my loop there. I was like, what? It was under my mind map. As I was saying, put things in the same place every time. That way you're not going to have the issue of, oh my god, where the fuck did I put my wallet? Oh my money's gone, it's stolen, it's dead. On to the next thing. We're up to number 8 now, I think. So this is a fun one, and it's one I actually am working on, or will be working on, I should technically say. So this is to have a notebook of where everything is in your house. And what I mean by that is if you, like, that was a lot of fumbling. I'm like, if you, like, I feel like that, if you had a dream that you would. Anyway, so you have things in your house, like in your kitchen, and you need to know where everything is. So the way I do that is I'll open up a drawer or a cupboard and I'll be like, okay, what's in here? I'll note it all down. And then, you know, when it comes to things like in the laundry, like things I don't really use a lot, like my iron or cleaning solutions or extra spare sheets or some really random fucking thing like tools, or just basically open up all your cupboards, all your drawers, everything where there's something inside of it, and make a note of what is in it. Write it down in a notebook, put it on your computer, and that way when you're like, where's that one really obscure thing that I need to use right now that I haven't touched for the last 6 months? You can go to your notebook, or I would suggest putting it in a computer, because that way you can search within the document, you can search the thing, and you can go, that obscure thing is in this place, in this cupboard, in this room, and that way you're not stuck with the problem of either not finding it and never getting to use it, or having to search for it for an hour and a half and wasting your time. So yeah, have a notebook or a computer file. I would strongly recommend putting it in a computer document of just everything in your house, everything in a specific room, everything in drawers or cupboards or boxes, or just if a thing is in something, make note of it and put it in your little file system. And that way you'll never have the problem of not finding you thing that you need. Okay? The 10th thing is very simple, and it's just to get storage shelves. Now, highly recommend measuring the inside of your unit that you're getting storage shelves for, or storage containers, because it's going to maximize storage space, especially if you've got like a cupboard or like a drawer or a closet with a lot of dead empty space up the top that you can't store anything because of the way you've just got it set out. Add some storage shelves and you'll be able to stack things on top of each other, or add boxes and you can also stack them, and it's going to maximize your storage space, and you're going to be able to stuff a lot more in there, and you're going to have space for more things, which is obviously a good thing. If you like stuff, if you like things. So yeah, get storage shelves, storage boxes, measure them, make sure you're measuring the dimensions, because there's nothing worse than buying yourself a bunch of storage containers or shelves and they just don't fit. Also make sure they're sturdy. So I would recommend investing in something decent. Maybe $6 Kmart shelves aren't the way to go because I'm not particularly sturdy. But yeah, invest in something decent. Yeah, and that's it for that one. Moving on to the next thing is keep multiples of frequently used items. So like cleaning supplies, craft supplies like pens, highlighters, glue, tape. I rarely ever need to use glue, but when I do, I never have it. And so that's why at the start of the year, I went out and bought a bunch of different craft supplies. I bought tape, glue tack, stuff that I don't really use a lot. But when I need it, I don't want to have to go out to the store. I want to just go into a little box and go, oh, cool, there's the glue tack, so I can stick up my giant poster of it, and it may go with really nice titties. Multiples of things everywhere in your house, as much as you can do financial, because obviously I can't keep multiples of everything in my house, but as much as I can manage to do. 12 is to keep copies of everything important. So passwords, bank details, I would recommend having them encrypted or password protected if you're going to do this, because I wouldn't recommend leaving like important details just lying around for anyone to see on your computer or phone. Passwords to different sites, just important things that you're like, oh yeah, I'll remember that. And then 3 months down the track, you're like, oh, what's that thing I needed to remember? And you don't remember it, and you don't have any record of it. So if you think something's going to be important, or if you go, I'll remember that, write that shit down. And keep it on as many platforms as possible. Put it on your drive, put it on the cloud, on your phone, on your computer, have a hard copy, all the things. That way, if one carks it or 3 or more cark it, you've still got 2 backups. So the 13th thing that I have here, I keep just saying the numbers even though it's not necessarily, like, you don't need to go in order, it's just do whatever order you want, is to keep this list, a fist. I sound like I'm from Google. Anyway, something distracted, bird, is to keep a list of things that you need but you don't really like buy frequently. For example, cleaning supplies is one of them, or USBs, or supplies for your cat, or what's another thing that you like medicine supplies. Like there's many a time where I need a Panadol and there's none in the house because I haven't bought it. I know I need it and I know I use it, but I haven't bought it because I don't use it a lot. I only use it like maybe once a month. But if you need it and it's not there, that's annoying. So make note of things that you use, but not a lot. Make sure you have one or more of those things, so when you come to actually need it, whether that's every 6 months or every 2 months, you've actually got it there for you to use and you don't have to go out and buy it or waste time trying to find it. So the next thing is to have a notebook where you just throw everything that comes into your head. Everything that comes into your head, just put it in the notebook. You see a billboard driving to work and it's like advertising a cruise or jewelry or something you like, and you're like, I would like that. I would like to do that. I would like to have that. Or an email address somebody gives you, or a business card somebody gives you, or I keep saying, or this, or that. Sometimes I'll have something that I'm like, oh, I would like to do that, or I should check up on that, or, for example, the issue with the whole cover for my car. Another thing I needed to do was get an umbrella, so I set a reminder on my phone reminding me to do it every day, and I also put it in my notebook. I also know I need to do my job searches, the little Cinti link. So I write that down in my notebook. Everything that comes into my head that I'm like, I'm gonna need to remember that, I put it down in the notebook. And it could literally be anything. It could literally just be the one word, beans, because beans are good. I like beans. Beans! Listen, it's not really an organizational tip, it's just a recommended thing that I would say you should do, is that don't overwhelm yourself. I know this sounds like a lot of stuff, and I haven't sat down and done this all in one day. Like, this has taken me, so don't overwhelm yourself. Take as much time as you need to do this, and break it up as much as you need to. And don't feel bad if you can't do everything all at once, or if you don't have everything all in order like this at once. It's okay. I still don't have everything in order. It's slowly getting there. Just take it easy. Don't be too hard on yourself. The next thing is to make routines for yourself, like little tiny routines. I'm not talking about like, oh, this is my morning routine, or this is my night routine. Like, I'm talking about like, this is my routine for when I get out of the car. This is my routine for when I stop the car and park it. Or this is my routine for when I get inside. Or this is my routine for when I literally get out of bed in the morning. Or for when I do my editing process. Because if you have the same routine every time you do a little thing, like for example, getting out of my car. My routine for when I pull up outside my driveway is I'll stop the car, take the keys out of the ignition, and put them into my bag. I'll grab my wallet, or I'll grab my bag, make sure I have everything, my wallet, cars, keys, anything that I've taken with me. I'll have my coat on, and then once I've done that, I'll put the car in park, I'll pull up the handbrake, I'll make sure the lights are off, then I will get out of the car and I will lock it. And I'll make sure I do it one after the other. I won't take a break. So there was this one time when I got home from work, and I was in the middle of putting my car like into park, and then I was like, oh, I should check an email. So I stop, I pull out my phone, I check my email, and I'm on the phone for like 3 minutes. And then I get out of the car, and my car starts to roll away, and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to put the car in fucking park. And because my routine was interrupted, and I went, oh, I'm gonna go on my phone, I've completely forgotten the fact I need to actually park my goddamn car so it doesn't yeet itself away down the driveway like I did in Matilda. So yeah, have like little mini routines for things that like you need to be doing the same, or making sure you do all of them, or shit just isn't gonna work out for you. Like, you know, making sure your car is in park before you get out of the car. Oh, for God's sakes. So yeah, if you notice you're always doing things out of order, or you're always forgetting where you put your things, make sure that you're having a specific routine for just like small tiny things, like coming inside. Put down your keys in this place, hang up your coat, take off your shoes and put them in your designated place. There's nothing worse than just not having a routine and just throwing them wherever, and you're like, where are my fucking shoes? I don't know, I threw them off when I got inside, I've got no clue where they are now. The last thing is something that has helped me so much, and it's to make that cleaning list schedule that I was talking about. The lists are super helpful, schedule even more helpful, because I would have ideas of what I would need to do for cleaning, and I'd be like, oh, but when do I do it? Oh, when do I do it? How do I know when to do it? And I would just sort of clean sporadically at random times, and what would happen is the living room or the kitchen, bathroom would get insanely messy, and then I would have to spend 3 hours cleaning it, and it was just annoying, and it was exhausting. Excuse me while I popcorn crack my back. I didn't want to have to spend 3 hours filming a video. 3 hours. This is definitely a film video that's gone for 3 hours. I don't really have to spend, 3 hours cleaning a room. So cleaning lists, so would recommend having one for each room in your house that you know needs cleaning. Have lists on like the frequency, so like I clean my rooms every 3 days, every week, every 2 weeks, every month, and I will eventually be adding a 2 or 3 month cleaning routine for rooms, which is just going to have stuff that like I don't clean a lot, like cleaning the tops of cupboards, or cleaning the tops of ledges, or like cleaning the walls or stuff like that, because I don't need to do that all the time. It's something you can get away with only doing like every 3 months. Obviously you don't have to have the same frequency as what I do. I choose to because I feel like that's how my house runs best. So I know when I'm cleaning, and so then from there, when knowing, I was saying something about cleaning routines. So I was talking about how cleaning routines, figure out what do you need to do to clean a room, and I'd be all like, well, how often do I need to do it? And depending on how often you do it, what kind of things I need to do. Like if you want to clean every 2 weeks, what sort of things do you need to do when you clean every 2 weeks? If you want to clean every month, what kind of things do you want to do when you clean every month? I have a 3-day routine, which is very simple. It's literally just wiping over the TV stand, the coffee table, the ledge, doing a bit of a vacuum, which takes about 10 minutes. A weekly is a bit more in depth, so I'll dust over the plant stand, I'll wipe over all the ornaments so they don't get all dusty and gross, I'll vacuum and mop under the couches, yada yada yada. It gets a little more complex as like time goes on. My monthly routine is a pretty deep clean, which, because I'm cleaning every 3 days, every week, every fortnight, when I come to do a monthly clean, it doesn't take me that long, even though it requires me to do a lot of things and takes a lot of steps, because house is being kept clean on a consistent basis, the monthly routine takes an hour and 20 minutes instead of 4 hours, which is really nice. Anyway, so those are all my tips on not only how to be organized, but how to stay organized. So I hope these were helpful, and if you would like any more insight or a more in-depth tutorial on how to actually do any of these, I'll make separate videos on those. If you guys are interested, let me know. I'll probably end up just doing them anyway, because it's my channel, baby. I can do what I want. But also, I want to listen to my subscribers, because you guys are like, you're my friends, and I want to try and connect with you. And you know, you're not just numbers, you're people, and you have lives just like me. And the fact that you're watching me is amazing. So thank you. It means a lot. I would like to make this into a sustainable career eventually. Anyway, a couple of little channel updates as we're finishing up the video. I will be posting hopefully every 3 weeks. I would love to post a video weekly, but right now with my current schedule and my current computer setup, it's just not possible. I would be working at all hours of the day and I would not get anything else done. And unfortunately, as much as I love YouTube, there are other things in my life that take precedence and that I have to do, like working my regular old little job as barista. So yeah, the next video will be up in 3 weeks. Don't know what it'll be yet. We'll see. If you guys have any recommendations for what you would like to see next, it can be anything. This channel is sort of just, it's just general life advice and my own brain. It's just my brain in the channel. My brain is inside of it. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you found this helpful. If you've forgotten already, I'm better use they, them pronouns. Let me know your name, your pronoun, and your age if you feel comfortable in the comments below, so I can learn a bit more about you and who's part of my little family on here. So yeah, I'll see you in 3 weeks' time. Have a rockin' time, and I'll see you fellas next time. But I know I'm so itchy. I have an outro.